Top 40 American Revolutionary War Weapons. Hey everyone, welcome to True Channel. Today, we're delving into the pages of history to explore the top 40 American Revolutionary War weapons. From muskets to cannons, these weapons played a pivotal role in shaping the course of the Revolutionary War. So, without further ado, let's dive into this fascinating journey. Before moving forward, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel for future interesting videos. 1. The Kentucky Long Rifle. Our journey begins with the Kentucky Long Rifle, a weapon that revolutionized the art of marksmanship during the American Revolution. Its distinctive features included a long barrel, rifling grooves, and a slender stock. These characteristics gave it incredible accuracy, allowing American marksmen to pick off British soldiers from a distance with deadly precision. The Kentucky Long Rifle was a symbol of American ingenuity, and it remains an iconic firearm in American history. It enabled American forces to target enemy officers and artillery crews with deadly accuracy, significantly impacting battles. 2. The Brown Bess Musket. Next on our list is the Brown Bess musket, which served as the standard-issue firearm for British infantry during the Revolutionary War. This musket was known for its reliability, with a smoothbore barrel that allowed for faster loading and firing compared to rifles. It became synonymous with British forces and was used in countless battles on American soil, including Lexington and Concord, Bunker Hill, and Saratoga. The Brown Bess had a simple design that made it easy to maintain and repair on the battlefield, ensuring British soldiers had a reliable weapon at their disposal. 3. The Charleville Musket. The Charleville musket, of French origin, played a significant role in arming American troops. France was a crucial ally to the American cause, and the Charleville musket was a symbol of that support. It featured a flintlock mechanism and a bayonet lug, making it a versatile weapon for American soldiers. This musket showcased the international support that fueled the American Revolution. French-made Charleville muskets found their way into the hands of American infantrymen, who used them with great effect against the British. The support of the French, who were bitter rivals of the British, was a key factor in the American victory. 4. The Flintlock Pistol. Moving to sidearms, the flintlock pistol was a common choice for officers on both sides of the conflict. These pistols were known for their reliability and ease of use. Officers relied on them not only for self-defense, but also for delivering orders on the battlefield. The flintlock pistol became a symbol of authority and leadership. Officers often carried ornate and finely crafted flintlock pistols, emphasizing their rank and status. These pistols were highly prized possessions, often passed down through generations, and some became famous for their use in key moments of the Revolution. 5. The Blunderbuss. Now let's take a look at the blunderbuss, a unique firearm known for its wide, flared muzzle. This design allowed it to fire a scatter of projectiles, making it devastating at close range. The blunderbuss was a favored weapon for naval personnel and was used during boarding actions when compact, close-quarters firepower was needed. Its wide spray of shot made it especially deadly at short distances, and it was highly effective during chaotic ship-to-ship battles. Boarding parties armed with blunderbusses could clear enemy decks and secure captured vessels. 6. The Puckle Gun. For a touch of innovation, the Puckle gun makes our list. In many ways, it was a precursor to modern machine guns. Invented by James Puckle, this early automatic weapon was capable of firing multiple rounds without manual reloading. Although it wasn't widely adopted, the Puckle gun demonstrated the potential for rapid-fire firearms. It was a flintlock weapon that featured a revolving cylinder with multiple chambers, each loaded with its projectile. While it had limited military use, it was a fascinating glimpse into the future of firearms technology. 7. The Ferguson rifle. Moving forward, the Ferguson rifle was a game-changer in the realm of firearms. Invented by Scottish engineer Patrick Ferguson, this breech-loading rifle gave American snipers a critical advantage. It allowed for faster reloading, improved accuracy, and longer effective range compared to the muskets of the time. Ferguson rifles were especially effective in the hands of American sharpshooters. The breech-loading mechanism allowed for quicker follow-up shots, giving American snipers the ability to engage enemy officers and artillery crews from safe distances. This rifle played a crucial role in battles like Saratoga. 8. The Pennsylvania Long Rifle. Back to rifles. The Pennsylvania Long Rifle, also known as the Kentucky Rifle, was another iconic firearm of the American Revolution. Known for its distinctive patchbox, long barrel, and rifled bore, it boasted impressive accuracy and range. Frontiersmen and American sharpshooters cherished the Pennsylvania Long Rifle for its effectiveness in hunting and warfare. This rifle was favored by American frontiersmen who were intimately familiar with the land and could use its long-range accuracy to great effect against British forces. Its ability to pick off targets at significant distances made it a feared weapon on the battlefield. 9. The Brown Bess Bayonet. Now let's discuss the importance of bayonets during the Revolutionary War. The Brown Bess bayonet was designed to transform muskets into makeshift spears when the need for close combat arose. This attachment turned the Brown Bess musket into a versatile weapon, allowing infantry to defend against cavalry charges and engage in bayonet charges of their own. Bayonets were crucial in the age of muskets, where reloading took precious seconds. Soldiers could fix bayonets and form tight defensive formations or launch brutal charges to break enemy lines. 10. The S-Pontoon. Continuing with polearm weapons, the S-Pontoon was a favored choice among officers. Its design was both practical and decorative, featuring a blade on one side and a spearhead on the other. Officers carried the S-Pontoon as a symbol of their authority and used it in close combat situations. The S-Pontoon was not just a weapon, it was a symbol of command. Officers used it to rally troops, give orders, and defend themselves in the chaos of battle. Its combination of functionality and ornate design made it a prestigious status symbol. 11. The Baker Rifle. The Baker Rifle, a British-made firearm, also deserves a mention. It featured a rifled barrel and a unique bolt-action design. While it was standard issue for British rifle regiments, American troops captured and used Baker rifles effectively during the war. The Baker rifle's accuracy and longer range made it a formidable weapon. It was a significant advancement in rifle technology, featuring a twisted rifling pattern in the barrel that imparted a stabilizing spin on the bullet. This spin greatly improved accuracy and allowed for accurate shots at longer distances. 12. The Girandoni Air Rifle. Stepping into the realm of air rifles, the Girandoni Air Rifle was a technological marvel of its time. This Austrian-made rifle was capable of rapid fire without the need for gunpowder. It had a tubular magazine that held multiple rounds, and its quiet operation made it a preferred choice for certain specialized units. The Girandoni Air Rifle was a semi-automatic weapon, a rarity in the late 18th century. It utilized compressed air to propel bullets, making it much quieter than traditional firearms. This stealthy advantage made it ideal for special operations and scouting missions. 13. The Swivel Gun. Naval warfare during the Revolution saw the use of swivel guns. These small cannons were mounted on swivels, offering versatility in ship-to-ship combat. Swivel guns could be quickly aimed and fired, making them ideal for repelling enemy boarders and engaging other vessels. Swivel guns were crucial for ship-to-ship combat, where maneuverability and rapid fire were essential. They could target specific areas of enemy ships, such as masts or crews, to disable or incapacitate them. These guns played a vital role in naval strategy during the war. 14. The Congreve rocket. On to the explosive side of things, the Congreve rocket makes its mark. These artillery rockets, named after Sir William Congreve, were used in early artillery warfare. While they were not always reliable, they were capable of delivering explosive payloads over long distances, adding a new dimension to battlefield artillery. Congreve rockets were a precursor to modern rocket artillery. They were fired from specialized tubes and carried explosive warheads. These rockets were used in sieges and coastal defenses, adding an element of unpredictability to battles. 15. The canister shot. Within the realm of artillery, the canister shot was a devastating anti-personnel ammunition. Essentially, it turned cannons into giant shotguns. When fired, the canister shot would disperse a cloud of musket balls, creating a lethal cone of fire that mowed down infantry in its path. Canister shot was a last-ditch defense against infantry charges. When loaded, the cannon essentially became a massive shotgun, firing hundreds of musket balls in a single devastating blast. It was highly effective in repelling enemy assaults and protecting artillery positions. 16. The howitzer. For indirect fire support on the battlefield, the howitzer proved invaluable. It was a short-barreled cannon with a curved trajectory, allowing it to lob explosive shells over walls and fortifications. Howitzers were critical in siege warfare and breaking enemy defenses. The howitzer was designed to fire shells in high-arcing trajectories, making it ideal for attacking fortifications from behind cover. It could deliver explosive payloads with precision, creating chaos within enemy positions. These artillery pieces played a vital role in besieging fortified positions. 17. The field artillery. Field artillery, including cannons and mortars, were a staple on Revolutionary War battlefields. These heavy weapons delivered devastating firepower and played crucial roles in battles such as the Siege of Yorktown. American and British artillery units engaged in fierce duels that could decide the outcome of battles. Field artillery was the backbone of any army during the Revolutionary War. Cannons and mortars could deliver explosive, round shot, or grape shot at varying ranges, making them versatile tools for commanders. They were often placed strategically to defend key positions or support infantry advances. 18. The cutlass. Turning our attention to melee weapons, the cutlass was a favored blade among naval crews. Its design was well suited for close combat on the confined decks of ships. Sailors used cutlasses for repelling enemy boarders and in hand-to-hand combat during naval engagements. The cutlass was the sailor's weapon of choice during the Age of Sail. Its curved blade was designed for slashing and thrusting in close quarters, making it a formidable weapon for shipboard combat. Sailors often personalized their cutlasses, etching their names or ship motifs onto the blades. 19. The tomahawk. Moving inland, frontiersmen and Native American warriors wielded the tomahawk, a versatile tool and weapon. The tomahawk served multiple purposes, from hunting and chopping wood to being a deadly close combat weapon. It became a symbol of the American frontier. The tomahawk was a tool of survival and warfare on the American frontier. Its compact size made it a handy tool for settlers, allowing them to perform various tasks. In combat, it was a devastating weapon in the hands of skilled warriors, capable of delivering swift and lethal strikes. 20. The flintlock musketoon. The flintlock musketoon, a shortened musket, was favored by cavalry and mounted troops for its maneuverability. These compact firearms allowed cavalrymen to maintain firepower while on horseback, making them formidable in hit-and-run tactics. Musketoons were shorter and lighter than standard muskets, making them ideal for use on horseback. Cavalry units relied on their mobility and the firepower of musketoons to harass enemy infantry and engage in lightning-fast charges. These weapons were essential for cavalry tactics during the Revolutionary War. 21. The Coehorn Mortar. Back to artillery, the Coehorn mortar was a portable and effective mortar used for siege warfare and defending fortifications. Its small size and ease of transport made it a valuable asset for both American and British forces. Coehorn mortars were named after their Dutch inventor, Menno van Coehorn. These portable mortars could be easily transported and positioned on the battlefield. They were used to lob explosive shells into enemy fortifications, creating chaos and weakening defenses. Their ability to deliver high-angle fire made them versatile tools in both offensive and defensive operations. 22. The Spontoon. Returning to Palermo's, the spontoon was a versatile weapon used by sergeants and non-commissioned officers in infantry formations. It had a decorative and functional design, with a spearhead and a blade, symbolizing the authority of those who carried it. The spontoon was a symbol of rank in the infantry. Non-commissioned officers and sergeants carried these palermes as a sign of their authority and responsibility. They were used for both combat and ceremonial purposes. The spontoon's combination of a blade for cutting and a spearhead for thrusting made it effective in close combat. 23. The Boarding Pike. Naval combat also relied on the boarding pike, a long spear designed for repelling enemy boarders and for boarding actions. These weapons were crucial for maintaining control of ships during close-quarters combat. Boarding pikes were essential for naval battles during the Revolutionary War. They allowed sailors to defend their own ships against enemy boarders or to launch their own boarding actions. The long reach of the pike gave sailors an advantage in hand-to-hand combat on the narrow decks of ships. 24. The Caltrop. Stepping into the realm of unconventional weaponry, the caltrop deserves a mention. This simple but effective device was scattered on the ground to deter cavalry charges. With its sharp spikes, it could disable horses and disrupt enemy formations. Caltrops were ingenious anti-cavalry devices. These small metal objects had 4 spikes arranged in such a way that one spike always pointed upward when tossed on the ground. They were scattered in front of advancing cavalry to impede their charge, injuring horses and disrupting formations. 25. The Grape Shot. As we continue to explore artillery, the grape shot was a deadly anti-personnel ammunition. Essentially, it turned cannons into giant shotguns. When fired, the grape shot would disperse a cloud of musket balls, creating a lethal cone of fire that mowed down infantry in its path. Grape shot was the artillery's answer to massed infantry formations. It turned cannons into giant shotguns, firing dozens of musket balls in a single shot. The devastating spread of projectiles could cut down entire ranks of enemy infantry, making it a fearsome anti-personnel weapon. 26. The Halberd. Returning to Palermo's once more, the halberd was a multi-purpose weapon with a combination of a spear, an axe, and a hook. These versatile tools could be used for both offensive and defensive purposes, making them valuable on the battlefield. The halberd was a medieval weapon that found its way onto Revolutionary War battlefields. It had a long shaft with a combination of a spear for thrusting, an axe for chopping, and a hook for disarming opponents. This versatility made it effective for both offense and defense. 27. The Bowie Knife. Now let's shift our focus to the iconic Bowie knife, a large, sturdy blade with a distinctive clipped point. Named after the legendary frontiersman, Jim Bowie, this knife was favored by American pioneers and frontiersmen. Its rugged design made it ideal for both combat and survival in the wilderness. The Bowie knife was a staple of the American frontier. Its distinctive clipped point allowed for powerful stabbing strikes, making it effective for self-defense. Frontiersmen relied on it not only for protection, but also for various survival tasks such as skinning game and cutting through tough materials. 28. The grenade. No discussion of Revolutionary War weapons would be complete without mentioning the grenade. These hand-thrown explosives were used to clear out fortified positions and disrupt enemy formations. Soldiers would pull the fuse, light it, and then throw the grenade towards the enemy. Grenades added a new dimension to infantry tactics. They were used to clear enemy trenches, fortifications, and defensive positions. Grenadiers, specialized infantry units, were trained in their use and often led assaults on fortified positions. 29. The culverin. Artillery enthusiasts, take note. The culverin was a medium-sized cannon with a long-range capability. It was effective against both infantry and fortifications. The thundering roar of the culverin signaled its destructive power on the battlefield. Culverins were versatile cannons, capable of firing various types of projectiles at different ranges. They were often used to bombard enemy positions, breach fortifications, or disrupt enemy formations. The distinctive sound of a culverin firing struck fear into the hearts of soldiers on the receiving end. 30. The naval carronade. For naval warfare, the naval carronade was a short-range cannon that delivered a devastating punch in close-quarter ship battles. Carronades were designed for close-range engagements and could wreak havoc on enemy vessels. Naval carronades were known for their destructive power at close range. They fired large, heavy projectiles that could tear through enemy ships' hulls and wreak havoc on their decks. These cannons were often used in surprise attacks and boarding actions, where their firepower could quickly turn the tide of battle. 31. The plug bayonet. Returning to musket accessories, the plug bayonet played a vital role in transforming muskets into pikes quickly. Soldiers could remove the plug bayonet from the musket's barrel and affix it to the muzzle, turning their firearm into a spear for hand-to-hand combat. Plug bayonets were an ingenious invention that allowed muskets to serve dual purposes. They could be used for long-range volleys of musket balls, and when the situation called for it, they could be converted into pikes for close combat. This versatility made them valuable tools on the battlefield. 32. The mortar bomb. Expanding our knowledge of mortars, the mortar bomb was a specialized artillery shell designed to create chaos within enemy lines. These mortar bombs were filled with explosive powder and ignited in the mortar, launching them high into the air before raining destruction upon the enemy. Mortar bombs were designed to explode in the air, creating a deadly rain of shrapnel and fragments that could devastate infantry formations. They were particularly effective against troops in trenches or behind fortifications. 33. The pike. For organized infantry formations, the pike was a long thrusting spear used to repel cavalry charges and maintain defensive lines. The pike's length gave infantry a distinct advantage against charging horsemen. Pikes were essential for infantry formations that needed to protect themselves against cavalry charges. The long reach of the pike allowed infantrymen to keep charging horsemen at a safe distance, preventing them from breaking their lines. Pike squares were a common defensive formation used by infantry during the era. 34. The powder horn. Let's not forget the importance of powder storage on the battlefield. The powder horn was an essential accessory for soldiers. It held a supply of gunpowder, ensuring that soldiers could reload their firearms quickly during the heat of battle. Powder horns were a crucial part of a soldier's kit. They held the precious gunpowder needed to fire muskets and cannons. Soldiers carried them into battle, and they were often personalized with carvings or decorations to distinguish one soldier's horn from another's. 35. The field carriage. Transporting artillery required specialized equipment, like the field carriage. These carriages were designed to make cannons mobile on the battlefield, allowing for rapid repositioning and flexibility in battle tactics. Field carriages were essential for moving cannons quickly on the battlefield. They featured large wooden wheels that allowed for easy transport across varied terrain. The mobility they provided was critical for adapting to changing battlefield conditions and for bringing artillery to where it was needed most. 36. The sling. For those with a steady hand and skill in projectile weaponry, the sling was a simple yet effective tool. Soldiers used slings to launch projectiles, such as stones, at their enemies. It was a versatile weapon that required accuracy and precision. Slings were simple yet effective ranged weapons. They consisted of a pouch or cup attached to two cords. Soldiers would place a projectile in the pouch, spin it around, and release one of the cords to propel the projectile forward. Slings were used for hunting, skirmishing, and harassment of enemy troops. 37. The bayonet charge. Bayonet charges were a terrifying sight on the Revolutionary War battlefield. These fixed blades transformed muskets into formidable melee weapons. The psychological impact of a bayonet charge could break enemy formations and turn the tide of battle. Bayonet charges were a brutal and effective tactic. Soldiers fixed their bayonets to the muzzles of their muskets and charged at the enemy with the intent to engage in hand-to-hand combat. The sight of a bayonet-wielding enemy closing in was often enough to induce panic among enemy troops. 38. The limber. Continuing our discussion of artillery logistics, the limber was a vital component that allowed cannons to be towed by horses. This increased the mobility of artillery units, allowing them to keep pace with infantry and cavalry movements. Limbers were horse-drawn carriages designed to transport artillery pieces. They were essential for the mobility of artillery units on the battlefield. By hitching limbers to cannons, artillery crews could quickly move their cannons to different positions, ensuring they were always in the right place at the right time. 39. The naval swivel. Naval engagements often relied on the naval swivel, a smaller version of the swivel gun, perfect for protecting the deck from enemy boarders. Swivel guns were mounted on pivots, giving them a wide firing arc. Naval swivels were compact cannons that played a crucial role in defending ships from enemy boarders. They were often mounted on the decks of ships and could be aimed in multiple directions. Swivel guns were used to repel enemy boarders, protect the ship's crew, and deter attackers from getting too close. 40. The leather cartridge box. Lastly, we'll discuss the leather cartridge box, an essential piece of equipment for soldiers. These pouches held pre-measured charges of gunpowder and musket balls, ensuring quick and efficient reloading of muskets during intense engagements. Cartridge boxes were a crucial part of every infantryman's kit. They held the necessary components for reloading muskets, pre-measured charges of gunpowder and musket balls. Soldiers could quickly access these cartridges and reload their muskets during the heat of battle, ensuring a continuous rate of fire. Cartridge boxes were essential for maintaining the firepower of infantry formations. Conclusion. And there you have it, folks. A detailed exploration of the top 40 American Revolutionary War weapons. These weapons, from firearms to artillery and even melee tools, played pivotal roles in the struggle for American independence. We've delved deeper into each of these fascinating pieces of history, shedding light on their significance, innovation, and impact on the battlefield. If you found this journey through history as captivating as we did, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with fellow history enthusiasts. Stay tuned for more exciting historical explorations on the True Channel. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring. If you enjoyed from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel for future interesting videos. Thanks for watching.